Crocheting, embroidering, it's all the same to me. But them gals at the Anandaville Sewing Circle sure can spin some tales of valor and romance. Get out your kerchiefs, ladies. Hold on to your hats, gents. And look out, all you cowboys. Sally Joe's on the loose again. And by the by, how does Miss Arnica Blossoms keep her skin so eternally vibrant and blushing? Let's listen in.
Dustin, sweeping, forever housekeeping. Oh well, I shouldn't complain. Not everyone gets to be housekeeper to the town hero. Oh, Mr. Power, we need to get you hitched. But to whom and how? Oh well, at least I'm too old for all that romantic nonsense.
Excuse me, ma'am, but have you seen Will Power? Is he out on the dusty trail again?
He is indeed, and it's getting dustier every day.
Pardon me, ma'am, but what's a woman of your obvious refinement and delicacy doing in such a menial job as this?
Well,
Well, of course, it's none of my business.
Well, of course it's your business, you asked, didn't you? I mean, Mr.
Quick Draw. Name's Deputy Quick Draw.
Why, are you the deputy Mr. Powers always bragging about?
Oh, gosh. I might be his humble self. And a poet, too.
A poet? Why, I love poetry. Nothing stirs my heart like tales of roaring campfires and rolling sagebrush. You do write about roaring campfires and rolling sagebrush, don't you, Deputy?
Why, those happen to be particular recurrent themes of my literary endeavors. You wouldn't have a moment to hear my latest piece, would you?
I have all the moments in the world. I mean, well, like the cornfields, I'm all ears, so to speak.
Why, Miss Flora, there is a poetess hiding behind your gentle exterior. Some men call me by the name of Quick Draw. And it's true, I've taught a few of them the meaning of the law. But when them hombres has all been caught, I sit by the campfire and think my thoughts. Sage smoke rolling into starry climes sets me to thinking about other times. About dances in town and the gals flying by and that pretty sparkle in them bright blue eyes. I know someday someone will know me, and then that fine little lady will show me just how to ride through them gates of love. Then my heart and our hearts will sing like the stars above.
Why, I do believe you've taken my breath away, Mr. Quickdraw.
'Tweren't nothing. And please, call me Deputy.
Deputy.
Say, Miss Flora, you wouldn't care to accompany me sometime to the...
Sorry we're late, Flora, my dear.
Have you started yet?
I can't wait to learn those new embroidery stitches. I can only hope that my fingers are nimble enough for such delicate needlework.
Of course, I'll accompany you, Deputy. And I'll tell Mr. Power you were here. He's due back at high noon today. Why, girls, I've been having a cow waiting for you to get here. Matter of fact, I had so many cows I could nearly start my own dairy.
Well, Sybil May, have you and the preacher moved into that new country farmhouse? That was a long way to come from Bavaria, you know.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we just love Anandaville. How about you, Miss Blossum?
Oh, you can call me Arnica, dearie.
Oh, Arnica, then, have you lived here long? All your life?
Not yet. I sure do love Preacher Spud's service. He is so inspiring and so deeply inspired. Well, even my school kids, they'd love to come to his family services. How is it that you two decided to settle at Anandaville?
Well, the story goes back a long ways. At a very early age, Preacher Spud, Orville, ran away to a monastery for religious training. Then, guided by deep inner joy, he felt to leave the cloistered life and spread the word of God in outpost remote towns like this in America. But then, when he decided to go back and branch out and try to rediscover the roots of his family tree, it had disappeared, gone, vanished. All that was left of his early life was a simple silver medallion given to him by his sweet, loving mother before she expired, and he wears it always around his neck. This medallion depicts a cryptic vegetable blossom, and so he renamed himself Spud, after the humble potato, Orville Spud.
What a beautiful story. I wish mine were as melodramatic. But it's even more so.
Do tell, Miss Fifi.
I never tire of that story.
Well, my first husband, Mr. Gottrich of Gottrich Train and Cattle Company, died while running to catch the train to work But he was not my first love. The man with no name was the true suitor of my faint heart. When his amnesia cleared and he learned his name was Otto, we married that day. Then, several years later, Otto had a relapse of amnesia and walked out of our lives with our very own little daughter, never to be seen again.
Well, dearie, we all have our trials to bear, and you have borne yours so gracefully.
I'll never forget my little daughter's peculiar cry. It sounded like, Yahoo! And that was in the days before search engines had been invented, or computers for that matter. I certainly am. At least, I'm extraordinarily wealthy. So you can understand that having been widowed twice, I am reconciled to never marrying again.
Well, yes. How about we discuss a lighter topic?
Oh, do tell.
I know. Let's share beauty secrets.
Well, personally, I go to Paris to have my hair and nails properly done.
And I like to keep my figure trimmed by running around doing several charity projects.
Hello, girls. Oh, lovely to see you all. Tell us, Arnica, how do you keep your complexion so fair and flawless?
Well, I may try to stay out of the sun, and I never go to the house without my parasol.
I, on the other hand, prefer to stay out of the sun by standing in a man's shadow.
Get back in the wagon, Sally Joe.
Oh, delicate gender only knew the damage that happens to the epidermal layer. The epidermal cells, which are thin, squamous, and without nuclei, are destroyed by ultraviolet light. The wave-like basal cells, which are also part of the epidermis, apparently suffer destruction too.
Aw, but what can we poor females do? Ours is the fairer sex, and sunblock hasn't been invented yet. But wait, here's a proper explanation.
What can
we poor females do when questing, teasing, passing, teasing, lovers sue?
to.
Fate affords no other way than denying or complying, than denying or complying. What can we both do? Pressing, teasing, what can we, poor females do? Resenting or consenting, and resenting does not like alike our hopes betray. What can we both females do? Pressing, teasing, lovers so. What can we, poor females do?
Well, girls, you will never guess what I found at the Anandaville Jewel in the Sagebrush thrift store. A real treasure. It's Professor Lovelorn's complete book of Victorian etiquette. It tells a girl everything she needs to know about love, courtship, and marriage. Oh, my!
It says here, let no lady commence and continue a correspondence with a gentleman solely with a view to marriage, for fear that she may never have another opportunity. Do not be thus afraid of being an old maid. The disgrace attached to that term has long since passed away.
Give me that book. Times single, free, and independent maidenhood, and for a woman to trail her life in the dust and bring poverty, shame, and disgrace on her children by marrying a man of poor financial stature. But let no woman make it an ultimate object in life to marry a rich husband. It is not the possession, but the giving forth of wealth that brings happiness.
And in this chapter, entitled Professor Lovelorn's Guide to Love and Marriage, it reads, "It is a woman's mark of judgment and rare good sense to go through life without wedlock if she cannot marry for love. Somewhere in eternity, the poets tell us, our true mate will be found."
Speaking of true mates, I know a certain eligible bachelor, a town hero, you might say, who would love to share his cappuccino machine with someone. Or rather, I would love him to. Any ideas, anyone?
Well, what might this superhero's name be, Miss Matchmaker?
Why, willpower.
Willpower. The power of will. I could have willpower. I could give energy and joy to willpower. Why have I never seen him? He's lived here all his life. Betwixt me, between him, yes, he had a wife. But what a handsome cowboy and a hero, no less, to boot. I sure do see him now, boy. He's got bravado. I've got loot. It's in the hands of destiny. Oh, man, has he got charms. If only he'd see the best in me. Ah, well, it's in Divine Mother's arms.
Yes, I agree. Our lives are cradled in the arms of the infinite. I reckon I reconciled myself to that universal fact long ago, when orphaned as just a babe. No home, no history, and someday when I find my true life companion to love, serve with in joyful harmony, and honor all the days of our lives, I shall say to him every evening as we close our eyes to this dream world, perchance to drift on astral streams, good night, sweetheart. I'll see you in the morning. What do you feel? The night may reveal. Darkness can't harm you, its fears are unreal. Light will enfold you, just open your heart. Let peace through your dreams gently steal. Good night, sweetheart, I'll see you in the morning. Till then, sleep tight, sweet dreams. Starlight, sweetheart, your silken hair adorning, drift on silvery beams. Though separate for a while, the memory of your smile will linger in my heart and bless me. Now flow, sweetheart, all cares and troubles scorning, adrift on astral streams.
Oh, Flora, I brought the cappuccino machine just like you asked, and I reckon I'll just mosey on out of...
You must be well powered.
Why, yes, ma'am. I don't believe I've had the pleasure of a formal introduction to you, a lady of your obviously high and regal station.
Well, you have. I mean, you are. I mean, you will. I mean, I do.
Ma'am, I know you must be awfully busy, and I don't mean to be forward or nothing, but would you do me the honor of allowing me to accompany you over to that new coffee house on the edge of town? Their decaf there is reported to be like heaven on earth. Why, we could ride over on Starbuck.
Well, I am always terribly, terribly busy. As you can imagine, being so wealthy is an occupation in itself. But it behooves my fluttering heart to make an exception for a hero such as your gracious self.